Hey everybody, this is Stacy Rossetti. Hi, how are y'all? Come hang out with me today. I'm going to do a case study on how to find, fund, and run a storage facility. Okay. I teach people how to get started in self-storage investing. I own Storage Nerds. So Storage Nerds is a community of people just like me who want to buy storage facilities and are looking to buy more, either build their portfolio out or they're getting started in self storage. So I am here to help you figure this out. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over one of my facilities and we are going to I'm going to show you how I found it, I funded it, and I'm running it. Actually, I'm going to go over two of my facilities. So right now I'm in the process of trying to sell my facilities. That reminds me, I want to make sure I show you um, this this website. Okay, I'm in the process of trying to sell my storage facilities. Okay, so it has been from 2015 until now that I have stabilized my facilities. I bought one facility my first year, one facility my second year. And then my third year, I bought two, and then I started buying three, and then I bought like six, and I went crazy, and I bought a whole bunch of storage facilities. Okay, and so now, after owning these facilities for 5+ years, they are all stabilized. Okay. And I am in the process of trying to sell my facilities right now. So, what I wanted to do was put this down here. So, okay. Yeah. So, what I want to do is I want to go over how I found, funded, and I'm running these things. And I'll just give you an idea so you know how it works. Okay. So, first things first. I own Miss Lillian's self storage. So let me share my screen here. There it is. Okay, so I own Miss Lillian's self storage. Okay, if you go to misslillians.com, then you will be able to see all the storage facilities. I own a couple different brands. This is just one of my brands. And the way it works for me is like Miss Lillian Self Storage, these are all me and my husband's facilities that we own ourselves. And I started buying all these facilities from 2015 until like 2020, basically, is when I bought all these facilities. And then in 2020, I started syndicating deals out. Okay. And all these facilities that you see from Miss Lillian Self Storage, these are all like little tiny facilities, because that's all I could afford, And I just started Bill, I got a small one and then I got another one and another one. And I buy severely mismanaged facilities. A lot of people think that they want to buy a facility, like facilities like this, but it's actually quite a lot of work, a lot of CapEx. CapEx is capital expenditures, but when I say CapEx, I mean like it just needs work. They need new paint, new doors, new latches, like maybe the grading or the internet doesn't work and the cameras don't work, or it's just the occupancy is bad. So pretty much every facility that I've ever bought, the occupancy was less than 50%. Okay. Those are called mismanaged facilities. And so these facilities that I bought here on this Miscellaneous and Self-Storage website, these were all mismanaged facilities. And I bought these from 2015 to 2020. Okay. And so it took me, 3 to 5 years to stabilize. It takes typically about 3 to 5 years to stabilize a severely mismanaged facility. I mean, at least for us, it does. You guys may be amazing and do it faster than us, but me and my husband, we are very like slow and steady wins the race. And we don't have it's just me and my husband doing all this. We have a couple people answering the phones, but that's just, that's the type of people that we are. We're the ones that actually did all the work. We don't go out and buy third party, get third party management companies to do everything. We don't raise a lot of money to buy a lot of storage facilities. It's just not how we are. We are really like secondary and tertiary types of owners. We're really tertiary types of owners. In a tertiary facility, when I say that, I mean like it's kind of in the country. Okay, so when you scroll down, this is the website for Miss Lillian Self Storage. when you scroll down, all right, and you can just come to this website, miscellaneous.com, and you can see that all of our facilities, like none of them are in like major cities. They're little tiny towns across the state of Georgia. And so, this is what we did. We used to live like south, the South Atlanta area. We now live in Florida. We started making our way down into the Florida area, is what we did. And then all I did was I drove for storage. I drove for storage. Okay. I actually like drove for storage. Okay. I did not do virtual driving for storage because you remember from 2015 to 2020, there was not a lot of virtual stuff going on. Virtual really happened in like 2020 and later. Okay. And when I was buying storage facilities from 2015 to 2020, um, like, people didn't go online and rent units. It was very rare. Now people would have a website, but like nobody really like went on and reserved space and stuff like that. And in fact, we use StorageNerds. StorageNerds is a property management software that you use to like manage your properties. And StorageNerds was very new at that time. I was like one of the very first, I wasn't one of the very first people, but I was one of the very kind of first people to join. And I joined when StorageNerds only had 3 people working there. And now it's like this huge place. It's got like a bazillion people and it's like a whole thing, right? But and that was only 10 years ago. It's like less than 10 years ago that was like that. And so, I just want you to know that really storage, storage, investing in storage, the way that you think about it now is a very new concept, and, I drove around and I would just shake owners' hands and put the facility under contract right then and there. And for the most part, these facilities were operating at 50 cents on the dollar. Because the owners, it was not a business. It was kind of like, it was storage facility owners are the types of people that, they have 4 or 5 different businesses and they just happen to have some land and they're just building a storage facility or maybe, or something like that, saying that's how it was pre 2020. Okay. And now it's like this business, you got to be on top of it. You got to understand online marketing. You've got to understand your competition. It's like it's like you are running and you are competing against bigger players in the industry. And honestly, the truth is like, it's not just in storage like this. I mean, that is how real estate investing is. It has become this like competitive sport. It's like in the Olympics where you just want to own everything and beat everybody out and screw the little people. Okay. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that before, So for these facilities here, all these facilities that you see, I went out and I drove for storage and I went and talked to the owners face to face. And I got really, really good at talking to owners, meeting them, and then, learning how to talk to them so they would sell me their facility at 50 cents on the dollar. All right. And all it is just a skill that you just have to like practice and learn. Now, that jump forward to nowadays. Okay. So in the 2026 era now. Okay. So these facilities are all stabilized property. So I took these mismanaged facilities, me and my husband, for 5 years straight. We just fixed all these facilities up. We painted them, we fixed the doors, cleaned it up, grading, we owned them, we stabilized them, and now we have 3, 4, 5 years of really good tax returns. And so now we are in the process of selling these facilities. We're going to keep one and we're going to sell all the others. And we are going to partner with our students through StorageNerds. That's what we do, is we partner with our students. So again, if you are interested in working with us, go to StorageNerds.com. And I put that here as well. Okay, so StorageNerds.com. StorageNerds Academy is where you can learn how to invest in self-storage. And you don't have to buy a little tiny facility. You can buy whatever facility that you want, right? From 200,000 to 2 million. But that's the name of my program, the StorageNerds Academy. It's $100 a month to join and learn how to do what I'm doing. Now, what I do is I teach people how to go directly to the owners. That's what I do. I do not teach people to go look on Crexy and look on LoopNet, because for me, I just never did that. And you can really get the best deal by going directly to the owner. Now it's a different, it's a different kind of negotiation tactic to go directly to the owner. Okay. It's a different type of confidence to be able to do this, right? Because I can call up a broker and talk to a broker and ask about a deal. And I'm selling properties, and I have a couple of properties right now listed with broker. And I just had a meeting with my broker like pre this session. And he just says that there's a lot of people that are looking, they call, they ask, but they don't ever really do anything. Okay. Now, when you go and talk to an owner, you don't want to be like that. You want to be like ready. Like, I am ready to talk to this person, because those owners, they're not like thinking about selling their facilities. They're thinking about like, okay, some person's calling me up, and like, if I want to actually talk to them, I'm going to have to put all my, get my numbers and put everything together. And it's just a different kind of way of negotiating. So, and if the owner is willing to talk to you, you should be willing to talk to the owner, right? Because you want to create this like win-win situation for both of you. And that's kind of how it is here. Whereas like with a broker, you can call up, you can look on Crexy, you can look on LoopNet, you can talk, you talk to as many brokers as you want, but you don't ever really have to do anything. But on the owner side, talking to them directly, like, this is where you don't want to be that person that's calling around, seeing if they want to offer, and then like never doing anything about it and stuff. Okay. So that is Miss Lillian Self Storage. So today, and you can come to this website if you want and check us out. Today, we're going to talk about our live oak, like the live oak facility. So these are the ones that I actually have listed with a broker right now. These facilities are for sale, and I have them listed with the broker, but I kind of wanted to go over and just show you how we're managing these. Okay, so you can see here right off the bat that we have a winter sale. It's 95% off. And what we do on our website is we come in and we just change this to spring sale. Is what we do. So and this 95% off sale that you're seeing here, 95% off, we have tested this over and over and over again. We've done 1 month free, 2 months free, 50% off both months. We've done dollar move-ins. We've done like all kinds of stuff, right? But 95% off for us internally. My team that answers my phone, and I have 3 people that answer my phones, they really are good at this promotion. All right. So just think about that, right? Whoever answers your phone is going to make or break whether or not you are successful. So either you're answering this phone, or a call center is answering this phone, or somebody on your team is answering this phone. But you have to make sure that whoever is answering your phone is good at talking to people and converting. All right. That's number one for ownership of a storage facility. And then also they have to be able to convert. It's a sales position. Answering the phone and talking to tenants is a sales position. It's a phone sales position. And they have to be able to promote whatever promotion, whatever product that you're selling. So we are selling storage space, and we have a promotion of 95% off. And that promotion for us is like one of the, it's just the one promotion that my team is really good at promoting. Okay, and we've worked very, very hard on being able to promote that. So what that means is that on a monthly basis, I listen to the phone calls, and I also make sure that they're saying what really would work in order to get them to convert. Okay, so it's really working with the people that answer your phones to make sure that they know how to get somebody to want to take advantage of this promotion. Okay, this is something that nobody is talking about. Nobody in the storage world talks about how to be better at converting, your phone calls. Okay, and this is like one of the most important things that you can do is in being a storage facility owner. And I want to bring it up and let you know that, like, so we've always been for the live oaks. Live oaks for us, the Live Oak, Florida facilities have been some of our best performing facilities. And if you know where Live Oak, Florida is, let me see, let me go back to this one here. Okay, so Live Oaks are down here. Okay, this is us. And so these two here, so you got to think about like in terms of where the facilities are, where you're buying the market, right? So this is in near Jacksonville and Tallahassee in between. A lot of people are moving to the Panhandle of Florida right now because it's like an affordable place to live in Florida. Because like from Gainesville down, Florida is really struggling with real estate and stuff right now. They're all moving. I'm going to tell you, they're moving up in this area right here. This area, the south of Georgia and the north of Florida, is a very good area because it's affordable. It's like nobody can afford to live in Orlando. The Village is like super expensive and down. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so these have been the best two performing facilities that we've had in these little tiny tertiary market areas. Right. And so you have to think about that when you're looking for facilities as well too, is where should I be looking? What's being gentrified or what's being, where are people moving? What trends are they moving to? Whatever area. And you don't want to just be like, okay, I live in Atlanta, so I'm going to just go around and just go to Atlanta because that's where it's at, right? Because Atlanta, there's a lot of storage facilities in Atlanta. So you have a lot of competition where here there's only a couple of storage facilities. So we don't have a lot of competition. And then also this area is booming. It is growing so fast that there's not enough storage keeping up with as many people that are moving in. So we are at an advantage. Okay. And so this is very important when you're choosing your market, and you're getting out there and talking to owners and stuff, you're thinking about this and where are people moving to and what are people, what's happening in the world, in the market. Okay. Anyways, so then I want to pull up. I was gonna show you some pictures of the live oaks down here. Are they down here? No. Let's go to live oak. Oh no, it's right here. Sorry, live oak here. Okay, live oak looks like this. Here it is. This is the pictures. Okay, very nice facilities. Okay, and clean. It's all grass. So somebody comes in and just mows it. Is what they do. And let's see if we could get some better pictures like this. It's kind of what it looks like. Okay. And more gravel. It's like gravelly with like a little bit of glass. I think in the summer there's a lot more mowing than in the winter, right? I think these were just taken in the winter. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You can see we have boat and RV storage over here, and then back over on this side as well too. There's room you could actually put another building right here, and you could put another building right there as well too. We never did because we don't really do a lot of expansions and stuff like that. We're more of like, let's get in, stabilize, and let's get a good couple of years of tax returns so we could sell it. And we also like to leave, this is super important. We like to leave room on the back end for people to, when they're buying, for them to do something. So on this facility here, you have room to expand on. You can put buildings, you can put parking, and then also you have rooms, like we've typically been between 85 and 90% full on these properties. You have a little bit of room to increase the prices and increase the occupancy as well too. So you always want to think about when you're buying your storage facilities, what is the opportunity? Do you want cash flow? Do you want a little bit of upside? Do you want a lot of upside? And and when you're selling your facilities, what can they do? So you here could expand and add more buildings. You could add parking. You can increase the revenue. You can increase the occupancy a little bit. But so you want to have that. You don't want to just like get it 90% full with no room to grow, right? Because you will have a hard time selling that property. Because like a person that's going to buy this facility as an investor, like you and me listening to this, we want to invest in self-storage. So there's got to be something for us to want to buy, right? So you don't want to come in and stabilize it so much so that nobody else can do anything, because nobody would really actually buy this facility. It'd be very, very hard sell for somebody to do that, okay? So you have to think about that as well too. Okay. Now, and then I wanted to come in, I wanted to show you, so that Live Oak North facility is here. And I want to show you here the regrid photos. Let's see what it looks like actually. Now, regrid, if you don't know regrid is it's regrid.com is what it is. And regrid shows you, it's like the report card. It's complete, it's free to use. You just go on and you can just pull this data. But you can see like the acreage is 1.2 acres, right? And then you can see like census data, when it was built, Square footage, 12,400 for 4 buildings. And, so you can see kind of like the tax value and, this kind of stuff here. Okay. So just whatever parcel information. And then you can also get the border. Okay. So this is what the property looks like. Remember I said that you can put something here and you can put something here. We never did that. Okay. But you can do that. Okay. So you can see it's 1.27 acres. There's the 4 buildings in the middle and then room to expand on. That is what this property looks like. But I wanted to point out regrid so that you guys kind of knew about it. Now there is a lot of there's a lot of websites like this. There's Landglide, there's Regrid. And then we also use a company called Tract IQ, where you can get in and you can get property information for storage facilities. And then there's Radius Plus. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there. Now, when I got started in 2015, there was a whole lot of nothing going on, right? But now there's all kinds of different options and stuff. So make sure you know where to go. And also, I've been pointing this out on all my case studies, right? These things right here, everything inside this folder, what you see here is exactly what you need in order to decide if you want to buy that property. Okay, so your P&Ls, your utilities information, the general ledgers, your occupancy report, your rent roll, your management summary, your unit mixes, your demographics, regrids, property report card, your photos, Google Maps, the competitors, and the radius population. Okay, so all of this stuff here that you see, this is what you need as somebody wanting to get into self-storage investing and buying a facility and looking at the overall picture of whether or not this facility is something that you want to buy. And if you are not looking at this information, then you are not doing yourself justice in order to understand what the property fully looks like so you can make an educated decision on whether or not you want to buy it. Now, once you get all this information, you take this information and you put it into a deal analyzer. If you do not have a deal analyzer and you do not know how to run deal analysis, I highly recommend that you join StorageNerds Academy. It's $100 a month. And then you take the deal analyzer course. Okay, these are all my courses here: Super Simple Self-Storage, the Deal Analyzer course. I have a wholesaling course. I have a management course. We have Find Them, Fund Them, Run Them. So we have all kinds of stuff here. But ultimately, if you get in, this course right here, I think is a very good way because it shows you how to analyze deals step by step by step. Okay, so what I'm saying is that you get all this information from the owner when you talk to the owner. And then you ask them, say, look, can I get as much of this information as I possibly can? Because I'm going to take that information, I'm going to put it into the deal analyzer, and then I'm going to run deal analysis so I can get you offers. Okay. And so that's kind of how the process works. I just want to make sure you understand that. Now, if you want access to this folder, if you're like, I want to know what I should be asking for, then all you need to do is go to americanssmgt.com/for-sale. americanssmgt.com/for-sale, because a lot of my facilities are for sale. This is the website that I built. And then you can come down, you can look at the facilities, okay, whichever facility that you're interested in, and then you can ask for more information. When you ask for more information, you will get access to the Google Drive folder that has exactly the same information here that it does for all the other facilities. So these are all the facilities that I have for sale right now, okay? And they're all in Georgia, okay? And so here's the Live Oak facility right here. And you can come down here and you can just ask for you can ask for information right here, and then you will be able to get it from Desmond, who's the broker that lists all that out. They'll give you access to this folder, okay? And so that is what I wanted to show you. Now I want to show you real fast. Okay, so the executive summary. This is what our executive summaries look like. So what we do is all that information in the folder. we take all that information and then we create what we call an executive summary. An executive summary basically is like an OM. Right. So if you go to a broker and you say, hey, can I get the information on the property? They'll give you like one big old huge presentation. And in that, they'll have all the information that you need. They will not give you access to a Google Drive folder, right? They will give you access to this OM that you could just take a look at and see. Whereas through me, you can get access to the Google Drive folder. I just give you access to it, be as transparent as I can. Now, and then you can come through and you can look at what this looks like. Let me just put this up here. Okay, so you can see our unit sizes here, and then we also have some parking. And then you can see some photos of the property. Okay, for photos. And then you can see the location of the property, where it's at in Florida, what it looks like. Right, you can see the street view, what it looks like. It's right on a high, like a county road. It's very good drive-by location. And then Live Oak has 7,000 people living in the town. Okay, so you just know that's how big it is right there. And it's like just one of those towns that this is the same. Like when you start looking at these like little tiny towns and these cities and stuff, like in these states, then you just notice that like a lot of times it'll look like this. It's not going up and down like, a lot of cities and everything. It's just like the same people been living over and over and over 10, 15, 20 years. Okay. And so you can see here that there's anywhere from in a 3 to 10 mile radius, there's anywhere from 10 to 25,000 people living in that area, right? Depending on how close to the thing. And when you think of storage, you're thinking of radius. Okay, you want to know what is the population of the in that 3 mile radius. What is the population of the people? Because those people within a 3, 5, and 10 mile radius have more of a chance of renting a unit than they don't, right? So within 3 miles, you have more of a chance, and the further that you go out, less, right? And so that's kind of when you think of storage and you start talking to people about storage, they're going to say, what's the population of your storage facility within a 3 mile radius? That's a typical normal question in the storage industry. And so then what you do is you as an owner of a storage facility, you need to know what the net capita rate is. Sorry, the net capita, the net capital rate. Is that what it is? Which is like the how many people, right? Or how many people are within the population that will buy storage. And that's what it's called, net capita. Anyways, the net capita per square foot is what it's called. So basically what that means is that you take the square footage, total square footage. Let's go back over here to this one here. Okay, so total square footage of Live Oak within a 3, 5, or 10 mile radius. Okay, and then you take, I'm sorry, that's the total population of the radius. And then the total the total square footage. I'm screwing that up bad, aren't I? The total square footage of that radius. Okay, it's called the net capita per square foot is what it's called. Okay, so it's the total square footage of your radius. Okay, so if you're doing a population of, if you're doing a 10 mile radius, there's 25,000 people within that radius. And then in that 10 mile radius, there's also X amount of storage facilities in that radius. Okay. And you have to calculate what the total square footage is of that 10 mile radius from the storage facilities. And then you divide it by your population. It's kind of complicated. It's not really, once you get used to it, it's not really complicated. So the total square footage within your radius divided by the total population of that radius equals your net capita per square foot. Okay, let me do that again. Total square footage of the radius divided by the total population of the radius equals your total square foot. I'm sorry, equals your net capita per square foot. Okay. And so then your net capita per square foot should be between like 6 and 8. The net capita per square foot, typically in a good area, will be between 6 and 8, which is on average. If it's below 6, that means that there is not enough storage. And if it's above 6, that means, above 8, that means there's too much square footage. Okay. Now, obviously, there's like, a gray area. Okay. So like, because I've bought in areas where there's like 9 or, or a 3 or something like this, but like on average for most areas, a good solid market has a net capita per square foot of between 6 and 8. So you take the total square footage of your radius. It's either 3, 5, 10-mile radius, total square footage of all storage facilities, and you divide it by your population. And that should be anywhere between 6 and 8, or there's a shortage of storage below 6, or there's too much storage. Because when you think about storage facilities and investing in self-storage, you do not want there to be too much competition. If there's too much competition, you will never be able to achieve 90% full. You do not want to buy in an area where you cannot be full, but you cannot be full if there's too much storage in the area. That makes sense, right? So ultimately, you want to make sure that you understand how to calculate your net capita per square foot. Okay, that is super important. Okay, so that's why we're putting that into this sheet here. Okay, so you have the parcel details. We talked about your property report card, and then we're looking at your competitors, the competition. Okay, and so you are in storage. You are learning about. You're looking at competitive advantage. All right. So what do your competitors look like? What does their marketing look like? What does their buildings look like? What does their promotions look like? And you need to do a very in-depth analysis of your competition. This is just how it is. Nowadays, this is how it is. Back in the olden days, there was not enough storage. So everybody was doing amazing, right? Now there's too much storage in a lot of areas. So let's just say you have a lot of different competitors. So you can see this is Tice's, and then we've got Live Oak Mini Storage is here, Freedom Storage, and Abbey Storage, Extra Attic, right? So there's 4 or 5 different competitors that we have for our Live Oak facilities. And so what we do is we look at the competitors on a monthly basis. What are they charging right now? What promotions do they have, right? So if you go here, what are they charging? Right? What promotion do they have? What is their web rate? If I call them up, what is the rate that they give you for the phone rate, right? You have to think about it in the storage investing world. We have all kinds of different rates. We have a website rate, we have a phone rate, we have promotions, we have all kinds, we have Sparefoot, we have all kinds of Google, we have different rates for like everything that we're doing. And you really are testing all that out to see which price works, right? And so you want to make sure that you know whether or not your competitors are doing that, or they're like not doing that. They're not doing that, then they're not they're not going to be doing as well as like somebody that's really kind of on top of that. And this is just how storage is now. If you are not on top of your competitors, if you don't understand what they're doing for pricing, what they're doing for promotions, what they're doing for their website, how are they marketing themselves, then you're not going to have the competitive advantage that you need. Because I've got 5 competitors in this city. And this is a city of only 7,000 people. So I need to be on top of my prices and my marketing material. All right. And so this is super important. Okay. So again, I want to reiterate that if you would like to have access to any of the properties that we're selling, right, all you need to do is go to AmericanSSMGT.com. /for sale. Okay, you can see the website there. And then if you're interested in getting access to any one of these facilities that we're selling, we are selling quite a few facilities right now. We're gonna take this money that we make and we're gonna partner with our students in storage. I'm already partnering with a good handful of my students, and I would like to partner with more. So this is why I'm selling my facilities, and we're gonna be partnering with students. If you are interested in partnering with us, then you need to check out the StorageNerds.com website, Storage Nerds Academy. Storage Nerds Academy is $100 a month, right? Very affordable. And you can come in, you can get access to our portal, courses, case studies, demos. You can get access to the acquisitions. You can get access to all kinds of stuff. Okay, training sessions. I mean, we got it all. Okay, so and then you have access also to the portal, and you will be able to come to the live group coaching sessions that we have every single month. And if you're an owner and you own a property right now and you want to build out your portfolio, join Storage Nerds and come and get access to the facility owner mastermind so that you can be part of, a group of owners that are sharing how things are working and not working and really bounce ideas off each other. Okay, so this is what Storage Nerds is about, StorageNerds.com. And then you can get access to the folders, and you can get access to all the materials that we offer through the website and the portal. Okay, again, I am doing case studies every week, so make sure you like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, you can comment below on the video and I will answer those questions for you as well too. And I hope to see you in our next live group coaching session. Okay, all right, take care. Bye.